Hello and welcome to the Bay Area Case Studies Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the last session where you learned about a variety of different institutions that may have been new to you, and we're so glad you decided to join us in this session where there are some institutions of interest. A few housekeeping before we get started. You can use the Q&A button just like in the last session to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are still off, so the panel cannot see or hear you. This is, as you know, one of many different sessions happening. We've got another one taking place immediately after this, so we hope to see you in that one as well. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at strivescan.com/BACS. I'm going to turn it over now to our main event, and that is each of our individual institutions. We are going to get started today with Boston College, whenever you are ready.
Hopefully that my sharing of screen will work out this time. So, all right, we good, Janine? Excellent. Okay. Thank you. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for being here this evening. My name is Mary Beth Chevry, and I'm from Boston College, which is located in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, right outside the city of Boston. So we're exactly 6 miles from the city center. And we are considered to be in a suburban residential area. And this is actually an ideal setting for our undergraduate students. Our students tend to, they use the phrasing, the duality of life between everything that's available to them in Boston, and then also what they're able to experience on our campus. I also describe our students as being quite intentional, maybe not always knowing every detail about their college search and what their college experience is going to, how that's going to be laid out for them, but instead they are looking for a specific kind of experience, one that is balanced and between the intellectual development, but then also the social and personal development of our students. This is also connected very well to our identity as being a Jesuit Catholic institution. We currently have 9,400 undergraduates, so we are considered to be a medium-sized university. That's right, I said university. So despite our name, we do have undergraduate, graduate programs, as well as a law school that's part of the university. But our focus is always on the undergraduate student population. When we hire faculty, it is with the intention that they are going to serve our undergraduate students. 100% of full-time faculty teach undergraduates every year. So there's also embedded this culture of learning engagement, and that our professors are really there for the undergraduate student experience, not just in terms of teaching, but also mentoring and really helping students discover their talents and their interests in ways that really could surprise them in some regard. That leads to a study abroad option they may have never considered when they were in high school, to a research project or co-publishing with a professor. So that exploration and pushing that intellectual envelope is something that we feel as though is a strength of the university, and obviously our undergraduate students benefit from that focus on the undergraduate student body. As I mentioned, we are located very close to the city center, and we have public transit directly across the street from our campus. We call it the T in Boston, one letter. We keep things simplified. You'll quickly find out if you have not spent a lot of time in Boston, you will learn that public transit is a better option than driving. I'm originally from the Boston area, so I've memorized most of the roadways, but if you've ever had that experience of trying to navigate our city, you do learn that public transit is, or walking can be, could be better options. But certainly the city of Boston is important to our students because it allows them to explore their interests beyond the classroom walls and beyond the walls of the campus itself, through internships, research projects, and then also, of course, everything that's offered by a major city like Boston. We're not as large as Los Angeles or Chicago, but I like to say that we pack a punch in the city of Boston, because because we definitely are landlocked to a body of water, but we do offer quite a breadth of ways that students can explore their interest and really test their mettle in different areas. So as I did mention, we are a university. We have 4 undergraduate schools, and hopefully that what you will learn through your own exploration of institutions here tonight is that we emphasize academic freedom and for students to be able, again, to explore their interests, develop their talents, and also that it's not just about a specific major or career. We want you to find ways to complement your studies while you're at BC. So that may lead to a minor outside your major or in a different school that may be unexpected to you, but it's something that you discover along the way. It's a great pathway. And then a last point is that our emphasis on the STEM field and how that's expanded in recent years. This summer, BC will open its new Integrated Science Center and also will be launching 2 new majors, one called Human-Centered Engineering and the other Global Public Health, which obviously we feel very strongly is really about what higher education in the 21st century should look like, identifying problems and providing the resources for our students to respond to those challenges. And then, as I did say, we are a Catholic Jesuit institution, so our mission, which is going to be experienced differently across our student body, but it is something that becomes very much a part of our students' development while they're at BC in a variety of ways, and I'm happy to answer any follow-up questions. I'm going to stop my slideshow here so I can give my colleagues plenty of time to share their institutions. Thank you.
Wonderful way to start us off today, Boston College. Thank you so much for that. We're going to hear now from another great presenter, Connecticut College.
All right, thank you. And I hope you can all see my screen share now. I'm Zach Street. I'm the Director of West Coast Admission for Connecticut College. And I'm actually based out here on the West Coast in your time zone. I'll start with a visual overview of the campus. You can see the southern part of Connecticut College right here, lots of trees and beautiful stone buildings. We are a national residential, selective, and traditional liberal arts college in New London, Connecticut, so halfway between Boston and New York City. One of the signature elements of the campus, and one of my favorite things, is our 750-acre Arboretum campus. It's literally the Connecticut College and State of Connecticut Arboretum with trees and trails and lakes and riverfront all within walking distance, though the heart of the campus is all very easy and close to traverse. And it's a really strong sense of community with almost all of our students living on campus in residence halls. So, and as a traditional liberal arts college, we have small classes, dedicated faculty for teaching and helping you and including you in research, and an interdisciplinary approach, which I'll talk about more in a moment. But I also just want to highlight here our location. We, as I said, halfway between New York and Boston, New York City and Boston. There is a train station in New London that will get you there easily, or you can drive or get rides with friends. Good access to the beautiful areas of Connecticut, as well as the urban energy in cities not too far away. And one thing I really love about the East Coast is New England in particular, is the beautiful seasons, especially on an Arboretum campus. But what our signature is our approach to integrative education. Several years ago, we launched a program called Connections Curriculum, which was designed to integrate your major, your coursework outside of your major, study abroad, which most of our students will do, career-related activities, senior project, everything that comprises your college education. Instead of having a segmented experience, you could have a unified experience where everything enhances the other elements. And the way we do that is our Connections Curriculum. In addition to the major that you would declare, or 2 majors perhaps, that's very common that you declare in your sophomore year, you'll also join an integrative pathway or interdisciplinary center, a broader theme that unites your many interests. themes like entrepreneurship, public health, social justice and sustainability, creativity. Food is a new one for us. Things that may not make sense as a major because of their breadth, but can really enhance your experience by putting you in a cohort of students with shared interest, but different areas of expertise, and really help point you towards a career passion, not just a position. Here's a few quick examples, just to put it in real terms here, of some of our great seniors with their major, their minor, and their center. I'll quickly list centers: Center for Community Action, Center for the Environment, Center for International Studies, Center for the Critical Study of Race and Ethnicity, and I might have missed one, but we're short on time. Those are some historic strengths of the college. Another strength is our career development program. We have 4-year career plan, a career advising plan, where you're from your first week on campus all the way through graduation, you'll have not only an academic advisor and staff and peer advisors, but a career advisor, helping you prepare and think about your future, as well as guaranteed paid internships for all of our students. They're not required, but almost 90% of our students choose to do that. And it's a really great opportunity to make sure you can put the liberal arts in action while you're a student, and that's our mission. The last thing I want to highlight is our honor code and sense of community. Our honor code is nearly 100 years old. It's a serious thing at the college. Every student hand signs the pledge, and it's a commitment to hold yourself and your community to your best selves, to your highest standards of trust, authenticity, integrity, and it allows our final exams to be self-scheduled and unproctored. An incredible level of earned trust in our students that is fostered by this honor code and our strong sense of community. I'll roll through a few pictures here just to give you a sense of campus and opportunities. One of my favorite parts of the Arboretum in the fall, and then I'll wrap it up with just a couple admission pointers. We are Common App, no application fee, and have been test optional for more than 12 years because a holistic review is really important to us. We guarantee to meet 100% of need for students we accept, and we also have generous merit awards that you'd be automatically considered for. Lots to learn online since this is such a short session, but let me wrap it up by saying you can email me at any time. I'm your primary contact as the Director of West Coast Admission. I've lived and worked in California and all up and down the West Coast. And I hope to be down there this fall. You can schedule an interview with me when I'm in the area or virtually, and you can connect with me on Instagram at West Coast Camel. You can message me there or just follow for photos of campus and updates. So thanks a lot and look forward to your questions.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much, Connecticut College. We are going to hear now from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. Whenever you are ready, RPI.
One second. Just thinking about it. Sorry. I will just start talking as it's loading up. Well, thank you for joining us. My name is Daniel Paul. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions here at RPI. We're all the way over on the East Coast, so pretty much as far away as you can get right now, as my presentation hopefully loads up in the next few moments. We're based in Troy, New York, so it's kind of the perfect college-sized town or city. It's kind of like a Brooklyn-esque feel. There's tons of different local shops, restaurants, no real chain restaurants. We're right on the Hudson River. They do Rocking on the Hudson in the warmer months where they have live music. They do the pig out with giant pig roast. They do a farmer's market on the weekend. Troy Night Out, so the last Friday of every month. They do discounted tickets for students so you can go and sample some of those fancier restaurants and take a break from the cafeteria food as well. 200 different clubs and organizations. They really take advantage of our location. So we're around an hour away from 3 different wilderness areas, the Catskills, the Berkshires, and the Adirondacks. So we have a big ski outdoor club as well, a lot of rock climbing. We're also about 2.5 hours away from New York City and pretty much the same distance away from Boston and Montreal, which is north of us as well. So centrally located. There is a large number of colleges and universities in the area as well. So with that, a lot of the amenities are put in place for that younger demographic, so you have a chance to take advantage of those. Since we are only together for a short amount of time, I just want to highlight a few unique aspects of Rensselaer. So to give you an overview, we're about 6,000 undergraduate students, around 1,700 grad students. With our undergrads, they're coming from all 50 states and around 17 countries. Once you include our graduate population, it's around 37 countries which are represented on campus. So it's a very diverse student body overall. Around half of our students are joining us to the School of Engineering. There's 11 different disciplines within the school itself. Around 30% are joining us to the School of Science. That could be anything from our most popular major, which is computer science, through to that pre-med track, or more of that lab-based research that students might be going on in their specific field of study. We also have a School of Architecture, a School of Business Management, and a School of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences, which is a bit of a mouthful. We abbreviate it down to HARS. So one of the taglines at Rensselaer is, why not change the world? So the reason we have that tagline is we want to be those change makers once you come to Rensselaer, but we actually help cultivate your leadership ability once you're with us as well. So you have a leadership core curriculum throughout your time with us. And even if you're coming in with an engineering, a science, or a business background, all students, regardless of their major, they will take 24 credits in humanities, arts, and social sciences. The reason being is you want to explain those great STEM ideas that you have. You want to be able to articulate those inspirational change-making ideas that you may have. So we set it up so you're going to go across those different boundaries. And many of our students, they'll do a minor in a different discipline, and many students also dual major. We also offer co-terminals, so you can do an accelerated Bachelor of Science with a Master's in 5 years into the traditional 6. Your financial aid and scholarship also last through that final year. There's a big focus on that group-based project, so it really replicates what it'd be like once you do go into industry as well. So not specifically siloed in your specific course of study, but working with students across different disciplines, and then really having that focus on the hands-on learning as well. So our alumni contributions have been immense. We've been founded in 1824. Our alumni have gone on to do great, amazing things, and we still have alumni all over the country and internationally as well. So everything from the Yankee and Fenway Stadium, if you ever watched Apollo 13, Kevin Bacon's character was an RKI grad, George Lowe. The Ferris wheel, the ant symbol in your email sign, as a pale Englishman, the inventor of the sunscreen, I'm forever thankful for as well, Howard Eisenman. So we do have a lot of interconnections within the industry as well. And we really try and cultivate that when you're with us. Obviously, when you first come to campus, it's about making those connections with different students and on campus. You do have access to research as early as your second semester as well. But as you progress, it's going to be making those connections off campus and looking at the next step. I know you're just starting on this journey right now, but in terms of that long-term goal, it's something to bear in mind. We do through the Arch experience. So all rising juniors, the summer prior to your junior year, you will take a full semester of classes. So you have the undivided attention of faculty, additional research opportunities, guest lecturers as well. And because you've taken a semester of your classes that summer prior to your junior year, you can then do an away semester in your junior year. So that could be a co-op, it could be an internship, it could be more research focused. There's a big startup culture on campus as well through the on-campus business incubation center, the Severino Center. So many students will go that route too. But essentially, it's a way to immerse yourself and put that theory into a practical application halfway through your course of study. Reinforce whether that course of study is the correct career path for you or not. Maybe you do a pivot change from there. It's also a chance to connect with industry as well. So 90% of our students that do participate in the Arch, they do go on to get a job offer prior to graduation as well. This is just a sampling of the different institutions and different companies where our students will do their co-ops or internships during that time frame. And around 85% of our students will go directly into employment upon graduation. And around 15% will either go to graduate schools, professional schools, such as medical schools. They may also stay on for their PhD at RPI as well. I mentioned before, research is one of those things that really separates us out. You can begin that as early as your second semester. There's around 100 million set aside each year for that. And that is focused on undergraduate students. So being focused in the STEM realm, obviously that's an extra feather in your cap. Many students are actually published prior to graduation. So if you're applying to medical school, if you're going into a research-focused industry, it does put you one step ahead as well. There's a number of ways to connect with us. Obviously, we're just offering campus tours to accepted students this time, but we do hope in the summer we'll be available to offer on-campus tours. RPI Admissions Instagram, there's tons of good content on there. And obviously, hopefully, we'll get to see you soon. But I'm going to pass it over to my next colleague.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that, RPI. We appreciate that presentation on your institution. We are going to hear next from CU Boulder. As they get everything loaded, I want to remind everyone that the Q&A function is open. And so if you have questions for any and all of our panelists here, make sure you use that Q&A function. All right, University of Colorado, whenever you're ready.
Great, thanks so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Kelsey Livingston. I'm from University of Colorado Boulder, or CU Boulder. My contact information is on the screen, so please reach out if you do have any questions after this evening's presentation. A little bit about me quickly. I'm originally from the Bay Area, and I'm also CU Boulder alumni, so I think that that is just a fun aspect to bring to the table here now on the admissions realm. So now about CU Boulder. We are a large public institution located in Boulder, Colorado. This is our beautiful campus right here. We're about 30 miles from Denver, and Boulder is definitely a college town, but in a lot of ways a city as well. One of my favorite things about Boulder is just how accessible it is. You know, I already mentioned that Denver's just down the road, right? You're walking distance from our downtown, you're walking distance from hiking those beautiful mountains in the background there. And all students who come to CU Boulder get a bus pass. So not only is it a super walking and biking friendly area, but you know, you can go to Denver for the day for a Rockies game, you can go skiing all in that bus pass, and down to the Denver International Airport. So super, super great and easy for especially out-of-state students, right? And we are a larger public institution, like I mentioned. We are affiliated with the Pac-12. And while we have 28,000 undergraduate students, which is something to consider, right? Definitely a bigger institution. 85% of your classes will be 50 students or less. And as you see here on the slide, there is an 18-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So while yes, lecture halls do exist, few and far between, you will also have smaller classroom settings, so you can build those relationships with your professor and classmates and ask those questions in the classroom setting. We have 8 different colleges to choose from, and I'll mention a little bit more about them later on. You will have to select a college and program for admission, but we will not hold you to that. You can of course change your mind, and I'll talk a little bit more about that process later. But something to take away from our academics is that, you know, majority of our students are involved in more than one program on campus. You know, when students ask, you know, what is CU Boulder known for? Our College of Engineering and our Lead School of Business are nationally ranked colleges, but you could really do whatever you wanted at CU because students kind of curate their own pathway by doing a double major or a major and a minor kind of combination. That is a really popular thing students do, by doubling up in majors or having that major minor combination. So here are the colleges. I'm not going to go through all of them too far in depth with you all tonight, but one I just want to highlight is our program in exploratory studies, which I think is unique to us because it is essentially the open option across all these campuses, or excuse me, all these colleges, if you will. And it is only a first-year program, and it is meant for students to, like it says in the name, explore. It does not add any more time to your degree. It just gives you a little bit more guided support your first year on campus. You can apply directly into this exploratory route, but it is also a second point of entry for the admissions process. So we will review you for your first choice, and then we'll also review you for exploratory studies. So you're not putting all your eggs in one basket necessarily there. Other things to note about CU Boulder, you know, I mentioned it being really accessible, you know, walking, biking. We also get 300 days of sunshine. I was just complaining about the snow that we caught last night. So it does snow here, something to consider, but we are a very outdoorsy area. You know, if you ever do get to visit campus, Fair and Field is truly the heart and backyard of our campus. All of our students are required to live on campus their first year, and that's just another way to create that home away from home that first year on campus right away. So, you know, I told you a little bit about students' time on CU Boulder's campus, and now what are our students doing after graduation? How successful are they after their undergraduate degree? Well, 92% of our graduates are employed within 6 months of graduation, and students are finding these jobs through a really great resource I love on campus called Career Services, one you can use, of course, during your time as a student, but also after graduation as well, because once a buff, always a buff. That will be a resource for you if you want just extra guidance on a resume, cover letter. Maybe you want to talk through a job or internship that you had during your undergraduate time. This office also puts on career fairs and things of that nature as well. And here are just some notable, if you will, employers, not just in the state of Colorado, you may notice, because, a 4-year degree can not just get you a job down the street, but also, worldwide. You can really go wherever you want after getting just a 4-year degree. I like to mention Google because that's relevant to the Bay Area, but also to Boulder. There's a campus now in Boulder, which I think is really cool. So how do you get to CU Boulder? Well, our application is completely on the Common App. And like I said, pick your first choice, right? And then we will review for both that and exploratory studies, which is really nice. We have 2 application deadlines. So big takeaway here, if you really want to go to CU Boulder, apply early. The early action deadline is completely non-binding, just gives you a better chance. You're first in line, if you will. And then we will review that second pool of applicants' regular decision. Here is just a quick look at our application checklist. The big thing to note here is, there's a lot here, and that's because we participate in a holistic review of our applicants, which means you are more than just a number. We want to, hear what you're doing outside of, sorry, there's an animal crawling at me. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I thought I locked him out. We want to hear, you're more than just a number. We want to hear about your time outside of school. What are you doing, your extracurriculars? And then another big thing to point out here is there will be more guidance on standardized testing and whether or not we will have that required. That is a Colorado state mandate, so not something CU Boulder dictates. So sorry that there isn't information on that now, but there will be more this summer. When we know, you will know. So that's all the time I have for today. Thank you so much. Sorry about the little interruption there. Work from home, right? Thank you again for your time. Please ask any questions you have.
CU Boulder, I know you're not going to turn off your video without showing us your furry friend.
Oh, he ran away.
Okay. Well, yeah. That's one thing I'll miss about everything being remote. Okay, thank you so much for that presentation. We are going to hear now from Lafayette College whenever you're ready.
It's hard to top the furry friend. I'm Kathleen Williams from Lafayette College. Lafayette College is in Easton, Pennsylvania. So I've been at college fairs and they say, oh, are you in Lafayette, California? Nope, Lafayette is in Easton, Pennsylvania. You're looking at an aerial view of the college. We are where the Delaware and Lehigh rivers converge. So if you like the outdoors, following Boulder's presentation, you can also have it here in Easton, Pennsylvania. Lots of bike paths and places to have some fun on the water. So we're named after the Marquis de Lafayette, a man way ahead of his time who helped the colonists win the Revolutionary War. He was a suffragist, he was an abolitionist, and he was more than just that figure in Hamilton. He really was very important in our history. Lafayette College is just that, a college. Undergraduates only, 96% of whom live on campus all 4 years. We like to say we're an applied liberal arts school. Well, what the heck does that mean? That means that students are taking what they learn in the classroom and applying it to the real life. Students do a lot of community service at Lafayette, not required, but they really, they give back with their multiple talents. So the 4 divisions, engineering, which we've been doing for over 150 years. So long before it was cool to be an engineer, Lafayette was doing it. I presented today with the director of engineering and 3 students who were talking about their research projects. They were all seniors. One of them was a mechanical engineer. Another one was a chemical engineer. Both of those students have already been accepted to Stanford's PhD programs in engineering. So while I know Lafayette is not a household name in California, I hope to change that. Know that certainly grad schools know us and industries know us. So we have a lot of CEOs around this country, including right there in your own backyard. Chip Berg was an international affairs major at Lafayette. He is the CEO of Levi Strauss, headquartered in San Francisco. Also, if you've ever picked up a Crayola crayon, you already have a connection to Lafayette because the Crayola crayon comes from Easton, Pennsylvania. But we have 51 areas of study in our 4 divisions, as I said, engineering, the social sciences, the natural sciences, and the humanities. We do not admit by major. We do not admit by division. We admit by you, the person. So we have about 2,600 students, over 200 clubs and organizations. We are Division I for sports. We play in the Patriot League. If you were to Google football rivalries, the Lafayette-Lehigh rivalry will come up on those lists, top 25, sometimes on a top 10, because Lafayette and Lehigh have played each other more times in football than any two schools in the nation. They played their 150th game against one another to a sold-out crowd at Yankee Stadium in 2014, with the Empire State Building lit up on one side with Lafayette colors and the other side with Lehigh colors. Happy to report a Lafayette victory then and again this year. So you don't have to go to Stanford or Cal to get that big school spirit. You can have big school spirit even at a smaller school. Scholarships, yes, we have them. First of all, we're a school that meets 100% of demonstrated financial need. We also have merit scholarships, which are full and half tuition scholarships, plus marquee awards that range from $10,000 to $20,000. If you are interested in ROTC, we are an ROTC school. The ROTC does their work on our campus, so you don't have to go to somebody else's school for that. And as I said, we're Division I in sports, so 23 different Division I sports, many of which have scholarships. This is the town of Easton. I'm a former Californian. I've only been in Easton for about going on 3 years now. I love it. To me, it has a very neighborhood feeling in downtown here. To orient you, this is College Hill. This is where the campus is. You can walk down some stairs and it would drop you right in front of our arts campus, where our film and media studies students, fine arts students, and theater students take their classes. But to get to this kiosk, which is home to the oldest farmers market in the country, would take you about 15-20 minutes to walk from campus. And we also have shuttles, because we're not going to make you walk when it snows, and it does snow sometimes. We have a huge garlic festival when we're not in a pandemic, not as big as Gilroy's, but that happens in downtown Easton, as does my favorite festival of all, which is Garlic Fest. Which is Bacon Fest, that happens the first weekend in November. About 100,000 people will converge on the city. We like to say we're in the middle of everywhere. You know, we are in the Lehigh Valley, which is the third largest area of Pennsylvania, but we're an hour and a half to New York and an hour and a half to Pennsylvania. So really great location for sure. Lots of buses going to each place every day. And so if you want to get out into a bigger city, you can, but definitely everything you could possibly want is here in Easton. I was nervous moving there because, you know, California, we're really spoiled with different kind of food. I will tell you, if you are a foodie, you will not be disappointed in Easton. That is our downtown arts campus that I pointed on the other view. Return on investment at Lafayette, huge. You know, our students are gainfully employed, 96% of them within 6 months of graduation or in a graduate program. Over the last 3 years, our kids have gotten into all the top 15 law schools in the country, with the exception of Yale. So I'm not sure if Yale's just that picky or if they're not wanting to live in New Haven, but great statistics for getting into medical school as well. We are test optional until 2023. We do a holistic review for sure. We really are looking at you, the person. As I said, we do not admit by major. We figure that you can decide when you're here to be anything you want to be. We are an early decision and regular decision school. We look at demonstrated interest, so the fact that you're here is fabulous. We're already doing interviews for our rising seniors, and there's lots of virtual sessions going on. So I see that my time is up. I would love to talk to you more, so please email me. And now to my friend, Marty.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Lafayette College. I don't think that people just appreciate how challenging it is to fit in all of this information in 6 minutes. So bravo to all of you for making this happen. We're going to now hear from our final institution for this portion of the event, and that is Columbia College Chicago, whenever you are ready.
Right on. Thank you. And thank you, Kathleen. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your engagement during this lovely case studies program. I certainly hope this has been a fun and insightful experience for you all. And truly, thank you for sharing so much of your time and conversation with us. One more friendly reminder, the Q&A option is there for you. If you have any questions, drop any of us a chat. Such great institutions I'm teamed up with here, and it's great to be with you all. We're going to hop over to the third coast in the Windy City, the second city as we're sometimes referred to, but the great city of Chicago, and talk about Columbia College Chicago. My name is Marty. My pronouns are he, him, and his, and I'm currently the Assistant Director of Regional Admissions with Columbia College Chicago. You will see my contact information on this slide as well as a few others. And by the way, you're welcome to screenshot or take pictures of any of this information if you'd like. Columbia College Chicago is maybe not the Columbia that you're thinking of. We are entirely a creative arts institution and honestly no affiliation with any other Columbias. So all of our students in some way, shape, or form are at Columbia College Chicago to produce or support creative work. All of our majors reflect the creative majors in the creative industries, but we are also totally a liberal arts college. And so our students do, I hope, earn a well-rounded education. But really intentionally, we also require that all of our students study some level of business or marketing or entrepreneurship. And so for us, we really intentionally try to connect the dots between the arts and how they're applied into an industry. And you probably don't need me to tell you that the arts in our country are a multi-billion-dollar industry, and certainly one of our greatest exports as a nation. So I know that students, especially from California, choose Columbia for these reasons. Number one, the city of Chicago. City in Chicago is the third largest in the United States, and we know that provides endless opportunities for our students to make a name for themselves, and more importantly, to really contribute and engage with the culture in Chicago and really to become a part of Chicago's creative scenes and creative communities. Number two, complex collaboration, and I think collaboration with difference. We are always trying to imagine and realize new possibilities for maybe programs that don't seem like they would work together to absolutely work together. And whether that's through a student experience, through double majoring or minoring, as we've heard about tonight, but also, really using two students in different programs and allowing them to work together on projects and real world experiences. Suffice it to say, hands-on learning and creating is what we're all about. Our students start in their creative interests in their first semester, and students have access to the equipment and the facilities to really continue their creative work. And I hope all of this is leading to endless opportunities for networking and career preparation. And certainly the city of Chicago is a great asset for our students. By the way, we encourage our students to perform and gallery and audition off campus. We want them to really immerse themselves in the city of Chicago. We have 6,000 students, at the college. Those are undergraduate students. Our students currently come from all 50 states and over 60 countries. You may be surprised to hear me say that California is our fourth largest population of students at Columbia. 99% of our students receive aid. This current class that joined us this school year, 60% of our new students self-identified as students of color, and 25% self-identified as first-generation students. The sort of academic and creative areas of the college, if we could put them neatly in rows and buckets, we would have media and digital arts, visual arts, our music and sound art programs, the performing arts, communication and writing, and again, the business and the management programs. On the next slide, you'll see a much more comprehensive list of the majors. But if it's helpful to know, and just from my perspective, I think you all know of Columbia for our theater programs. Certainly our musical theater programs, we offer both a BA and a BFA program, but we also have a comedy writing and performance program that is actually, and seriously, co-taught at the Second City, also in Chicago. So students take at least one semester of their classes at the world famous Second City in Chicago. But we're also known as a film and television school. So really everything from filmmaking to editing to cinematography to producing, and then of course with a lens on television. You may also not know or know that we have 5 photography programs at Columbia. And I'm seeing so many students who are really interested in visual storytelling and pairing that with the right side of the screen with those business and management programs, students who want to be a photographer, but also want to apply those skills in industries like advertising or social media. We're also known for our music programs, very contemporary music programs. And I'll round out our list with our fashion programs and our journalism programs. And again, we really do encourage students to have interdisciplinary experiences, but really to work across the creative industries. And so my friends, if any of this is resonating with you, I hope you'll give me a shout at some point and allow me to be a point of support in your college search journey. You can find us on the Common App. We also have our own app. Either one is cool. We don't need both of them. We always try, as my colleagues have mentioned, to practice a holistic admission process, and we are on a rolling schedule. So our applications for 2022 will open in August. I'm so happy to announce that we have chosen to be a test-free admission and scholarship institution beginning for students entering in 2022. And scholarships will be considered for all admitted students and even those who submit auditions and portfolios. As you can imagine, some of our audition and portfolios get very granular and specific for the program. So again, if you have any questions, please just reach out to me. And I thank you for your engagement once more, your attention. Here is my contact information, my friends. I hope you've had time to eat dinner. We've been talking about food like deep dish pizza in Chicago. And let's just make sure that you all be good to yourselves and to each other. And thanks again for being with us.
Awesome. What a wonderful way to wrap up that portion of this evening's event. Thank you so much, Columbia College Chicago. I'm now going to ask all of my fellow panelists to come on video and join me here for a very brief Q&A where we get to know a little bit more about each of their respective campuses. So I'm going to share my screen very quickly here and ask them the question, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus? We're going to go ahead and go in the same order, starting with Boston College.
This is when alpha order can, really come back at you. But it's very quickly, I will share what actually should have taken place yesterday, Marathon Monday. It coincides with Patriots Day. It's a statewide holiday in Massachusetts that actually celebrates the battles of Lexington and Concord. So, and everyone is familiar with the implication of that particular battle for the American Revolutionary War. The Boston Marathon route actually runs, it's a straight shot. It doesn't, there's no actual part of the route that repeats. And so on that straight line from Hopkinton to the city of Boston, part of it runs adjacent to BC's campus, and it's mile number 21 on the marathon route. So that is not only for having the day off from class, but it's such a wonderful celebration of the spring. If you enjoy studying American history, of course, but then also the celebration of sportsmanship and all the great stories that every marathon brings out, regardless of what city you're in.
Wonderful. What an interesting way to start off this question. Thank you so much. Connecticut College, what is your favorite event or tradition?
I'd have to choose our spring festival called Floralia. It's sort of an end of the year celebration where all the students come out just to celebrate creatively. There's bands, campus bands, theater, dance. It's just sort of a party atmosphere to wrap up the year and enjoy the spring, and especially set in an Arboretum campus with all the spring blossoms and spring trees everywhere. And the improving weather. It's just a really fun time. I was really disappointed when last we couldn't have. It's in May. I'm hoping it's happening this year. I haven't checked because we have been in person all year safely. That's one of the things we're really proud about with our community, is our ability to continue in-person instruction this year and next year as well. So hopefully we'll have a spring Floralia in May this year, socially distanced.
Of course, yes. I know that is the only sad part of this question, is a lot of us are going to be speaking about events that we've missed for the past year, but hopefully we'll see back very soon. RPI, what is your favorite event or tradition?
Absolutely. So we're a D1 hockey team, and we have our local rivals Union College down the other side of the Hudson River. So whenever that rivalry kicks off at RPI, pretty much the entire student body is wearing red. There's loud music playing everywhere. There's a lot of school pride, so it's always a fun event to go there whenever you get the chance.
Yeah, it sounds really fascinating. Thank you so much for that. University of Colorado Boulder.
So we're the Buffaloes, right? And we have a live Buffalo mascot, and her name is Ralphie. And this is our 5th one that we've had, actually. And I just think that is so cool. And you get to see her. She runs at football games before kickoff and at halftime. And you can actually be a Ralphie runner. It is a varsity sport. You can let her in Ralphie running. And that's my favorite.
Wow, I did not know that. That is really interesting. Thank you so much for that. All right, Lafayette College, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus?
Oh, we got the furry friend and we got the Ralphie. I saw those. You're a tough act to follow. So Lafayette, I will tell you that I love Rivalry Week. There'll be banners all over the place. Leopard apparel never goes out of style on College Hill. But I think our students would tell you that one of their favorite traditions is the 1,000-night dance and the 100-night dance. So 1,000 nights before graduation, when they are first-year students, they have a semi-formal dance just to their class. And then 100 nights before graduation, they will have the same. And they often go back to their freshman year residence halls and wonder where the 4 years have gone. So that's a beautiful tradition that the students really seem to like.
Absolutely beautiful. That is wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, Columbia College Chicago, your favorite event or tradition?
I'm going to bring it back to Deep Dish Pizza. Believe it or not, we have a music festival every school year called the Deep Dish Music Festival. And what I love about this is it not only engages our current students in multiple programs, really just those students who have bands, but we open it up to high schools. And this year, since it was a virtual experience, we had international high school bands joining us, and we got to perform together and record music and share tips and advice across Zoom. And it was just such a worldly wholesome experience. And we encouraged everyone to, if they could, get deep dish pizza during the lunch hour. And we broke bread over that hour. So yeah, Deep Dish Music Festival at Columbia College Chicago.
Awesome. So very fitting for your institution and your location. I love it. Okay, well, thank you all so much. This was an absolutely phenomenal session. I know I learned a lot about each of your campuses, and I hope that all of our attendees did as well. I want to thank not only all of our panelists, but also all of our attendees. Whether you are here live this evening or you are catching the recording, I really hope that you enjoyed tonight's presentation. When you close out this session today, you are going to receive a quick 4-question survey, so that we hope that you take time, give us feedback so that we can make these events better for you in the future. I did drop a link in the chat again. So within about a week, this event, along with all of the others, are being recorded and will be available for you to review. And don't forget, we have one more session happening after this. So take a look at the other institutions that are presenting and find another session to hop into this evening. Once again, thank you. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Bye-bye.